there, YouTube. We're back again for more of our Gencon Bonanaza Explosion Blowout coverage here live at Gencon 2019. Thanks part to all of our amazing Kickstarter backers. These spectacular companies here who donated games to help make it all possible. Be sure to show them some love. And of course, our big sponsors, Steve Jackson Games, who has the new Deadly Doodles, and Tasty Metro Games, who sponsors everything we do. So right now we're doing something different this year. I'm introducing you to my buddy Flanny. He's been in a couple videos, but he's been going around demoing all the new and hot upcoming games, and he comes at it from a slightly different perspective, don't you, Flanny?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I do enjoy gaming, but I'm not super experienced with any one particular kind. I mean, I've done some miniature games this weekend. I've done different types of card games, just typical board games.
Definitely on the lighter end of the pool. So, what did you get a chance to check out?
Marvel Crisis Protocol by Atomic Mass Games.
Now, Atomic Mass Game, for those curious, is actually under the Fantasy Flight umbrella. They made the big announcement that they're coming out with a Marvel miniature game, and Atomic Mass really is just Fantasy Flight, but they wanted to segue into its own special company, which is just going to focus on just milking this bad boy dry. So, what did you think about the game?
The game was really interesting. It's a miniatures game. I have very light experience with that, but it seemed beautifully done. The base game comes with, I think, about 12 figures, both villains and superheroes. So you'll get 2 quest cards, you'll have, a play area, and they'll have the quests spread out throughout. Each character has its own set of skills and attributes.
What kind of quests are they?
Well, the 2 I saw one was a technological threat, so you were supposed to go around the map and capture points and retain the points just exposed or not exposed, virused cellular objects, so phones, laptops, and stuff. I mean, it was posing some kind of technological threat, whether it was a hacking or explosive, I can't remember exactly. But that was a token on the board that you had to sit on and hold, and obviously at the end it gives you an extra victory points. And the other kind they were called shards. Now the shards you wanted to collect, but they were cosmic shards, so they did produce damage when collecting them at the end of each round. So that was the other quest. It was collecting these cosmic shards, which also resulted in victory points. Currently, it's just a 2-player game, but they're advertising with expansions. They're going to plan on doing some bigger events like raids and bosses and just opening up the playing field. They're hoping to support 4 players in the future. Average game would be 45 to 60 minutes.
So what did you think of it? Did you have fun? Did you not have fun? Too fidgety? Not fidgety enough? Would you want to play it again?
I wouldn't mind trying it again. I mean, the art, the characters were done in good detail. I don't think the base game is coming painted, so those who are interested in painting their own is more than welcome to. It's definitely something I'd try again.
Now, you also, I know the big thing that they made a big hubbub about, before they even explained the gameplay, which I thought was really funny when we did the Fantasy Flight In-Flight report, was it wasn't the heart and soul. They said the heart and soul of the game is, of course, the miniatures. They didn't say the gameplay, but the miniatures. So how are the miniatures? I guess they're hard plastic, and also the terrain. They made a big deal about the terrain, the pieces that sometimes get thrown around or moved around.
Yeah. So one nice thing about, or the interesting thing they said was a little different, was that parts of the terrain were going to be interactable. So the base game comes with a few lampposts, street lights, and a small building that is actually the Daily Bugle. And now that can be primarily interacted with, as in the Hulk could potentially pick up one or multiple objects and not hurl them at the enemy, or hurl other combatants through these objects, which would then, damage them, destroy them, and get those removed from the game. They mentioned that was something that you haven't seen before, just, interactive landscape and icons.
How easy was it to learn? For someone who's generally on the lighter side of games, was it complex or was it pretty straightforward?
It seemed pretty straightforward, but I mean, there was a GM right there going along explaining, but it seemed something you could probably pretty easily pick up on with just light reading. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to understand.
All right.
So the one other thing they mentioned was that you find out the objectives and then you can build your team. So for my team, I had, Iron Man, and then what really surprised me was Dr. Ock from, Spider-Man universe. Well, not just, but I mean, Dr. Octavius was a playable character. He wasn't exactly a villain. It wasn't some evil guy that I was fighting. I could actually pick him as one of my primary characters.
Yeah, I know they mentioned they were going to go pretty deep into that, bringing out some pretty weird stuff. But in the end, you liked it, though.
Yes.
All right, very cool. That is Marvel Crisis Protocol, the upcoming miniatures game from Fantasy Flight. Not going to lie to you, they say Atomic Mass Games, but If it looks like it might be a cup of tea, be sure to check that one out. If you're enjoying what we're doing, click on that subscribe button down below, and in the comments below, let me know. All right, how many do you think that you could kill a pirate? How many pirates do you think you could fight?
Oh, man.
And they were super drunk. Hammered drunk.
Oh, hammered drunk pirates.
You think you take one on, zero, two of them at the same time?
Same time?
Oh, that's hard. One after the other. One after the other.
One after the other.
Fight to the death.
I'm going to go with 3.
Ooh, that's ambitious.
3 pirates. 3 drunk pirates.
I'm going to go 1. I think I'll do 1. I'll go 2, because I'll probably get a little bit of a taste for the blood after the first one. Second one will be for myself. Third one, that'd just be guilty. I feel guilty. But let me know in the comments below. How many pirates do you think you could fight to the death? One after the other, super hammered drunk. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.